MVPs minimum. Howie Roseman, the general manager, Vic Fangio, the defensive coordinator, Jalen Hurts, the quarterback who won it for the Eagles, and the entire defensive line. It was so dominating, it has to have a ripple effect on the Dallas Cowboys and the Niners and the Rams and the Packers and how they draft. Does it not? Like, how do you block that? I mean, it was really, really good during the regular season. What was that? I mean, we talk quarterbacks all the time on this show, yet Philly humiliated Patrick Mahomes. They could not block the Eagles. I mean, Saquon Barkley was almost irrelevant. The tush-push was his most activity. The D-line, the total defense. It makes Nick Sirianni this morning look like Belichick. Philadelphia's GM has and uses all the levers. Drafting, trading, free agency. And it's a relentless pursuit of excellence. Very good is not good enough. Look at their 2 picks. One is a rookie. Another one is a transformed special teams player. That is so Howie Roseman. Look at the touchdown passes. One's a Heisman winner. One, A.J. Brown, comes via a massive trade. The only roster I've seen like this in the last 15 to 20 years was that Seahawk roster when they had a similar quarterback, the elusive Russell Wilson, on the rookie contract. And remember, we've seen this before. That Seahawk defense harassed and humiliated another legend, Peyton Manning. That's what we watched yesterday. That was the lowest point for Peyton Manning in his career. Well, yesterday, Mahomes was awful. I mean, there's no shame losing to a great team. But if you look at the box score, that's the most deceiving box score outside of the turnovers I've ever seen for a quarterback. It says Patrick Mahomes, 21 of 32, and a passer rating of 95. That is junk points, junk yards, and junk completions. He had 1 first down in the first half on the first play. And what was most disappointing is that he never seemed to sort of manipulate the game. But let's just talk about Philadelphia here. They had more penalty yards than Kansas City than actual yards in the first half. Think about that. The Eagles had more points in the first half than Kansas City actually had yards. It was Peyton Manning facing that Seahawk defense. And last week, we said, I think this Philadelphia roster is the best since that Seahawk roster. And man, did we say it on display. Now, maybe it was inverse where Seattle, remember that Seahawk team? The big win, they're going to do 2, and I don't know in what order Philadelphia is going to go, but I just watched a flurry, a defensive line, rookie corners, a game plan, and Mahomes was completely out of sorts. I mean, Philadelphia, this is what we thought they could be at their best, but throughout the course of the season, I can remember in week 8, 9, 10, 11, we're like, there are quarters, they're amazing, but remember early in the year, they couldn't score in the first quarter. Remember early in the year, we're like, man, they have drives. How do they ever punt? But you'd get like 2 drives a game. They put it all together last night. The GM, the DC, the quarterback, the O-line, the D-line. They didn't even need Saquon Barkley. And here was the young head coach after.
This is the ultimate team game. You can't be great without the greatness of others. And great performance by everybody. Offense, defense, special teams, Howie getting us the guys, our coaching staff, these great players. We didn't really ever care what anyone thought about how we won or their opinions. All we want to do is win.
Wow. 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 Colin Cowherd had to just give it up to the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, he kept talking about that Seattle Seahawks team. And he kept saying I think this is the Seattle Seahawks versus the New England Patriots. And I said, nah. How about the Seattle Seahawks versus this Denver Broncos team? And that's what this was. Make no mistake about it. Colin Cowherd said that this Philadelphia Eagles team would struggle to even get into the red zone. That's what he said. And he said that Patrick Mahomes is MJ and that the three-peat is inevitable. And that Patrick Mahomes was going to go on a game-winning drive and win. That we're witnessing MJ of the NFL. And the Kansas City Chiefs are just unstoppable. That's what he said. You know what? The Philadelphia Eagles did only get to the red zone only 3 times. But they still hung 40. That was a dominant performance. An absolute dominant performance. And stop with the repeating nonsense that the Eagles struggled throughout this year. Guys, it takes time to get this team going. Okay? They added new pieces, adding a new O-line. They had to rebuild the O-line, new center. I mean, there was a lot. They added 2 or 3 O-linemen and adding Saquon Barkley and a new OC. These things take time. They take time. And then A.J. Brown got injured, was out for games. Then Devontae was out for games. I mean, it takes time to figure this stuff out. There's going to be some growing pains. And you have a new OC trying to figure out who his quarterback is. The quarterback is trying to figure out who his OC is. And once Kellen Moore figures out this offense and says, okay, I know what to do, A.J. Brown goes down, Devontae goes down, and now he has to figure out, okay, what does this offense look like now without A.J. Brown, without Devontae? Okay, now we got Devontae, but no A.J. You got to figure this up. Okay, now no Dallas Goedert. It's not that easy. It's not plug and play, y'all. It's not how this stuff works. So it takes time. So there's going to be some growing pains. You got to get that O-line in shape. You got to figure some stuff out. So just stop acting like it was so, what do you expect? Do you expect teams to be able to just win by 30 every single game? And if they don't do that, then it just means they're not good? Because I remember everyone just praising the Kansas City Chiefs for finding ways to win. But yet the Eagles didn't get that. They didn't get that offer. They didn't get granted that. What the Philadelphia Eagles did was absolutely historic. Absolutely historic. Again, people like Colin, Nick Wright, we all know, they all kept saying that this Kansas City Chiefs team is one of the best teams in NFL history. Going to get the three-peat, the dynasty of all ages. Patrick Mahomes was going to solidify himself as the GOAT. As the GOAT. And this Philadelphia Eagles team dominated that team. Absolutely annihilated. As Colin said, humiliated Mahomes. So what does that say? Did the Kansas City Chiefs ever do that to any other team in the Super Bowl? Nah. Kansas City Chiefs got to win against Jimmy Garoppolo, Brock Purdy with muff punts and Greenlaw going down. Got some gimmies. Philadelphia Eagles, they sacrifice goats. They beat Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady. They got real wins. The Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes never won a Super Bowl like this. And yet the Philadelphia Eagles did. Against the team that everyone says is the greatest team. So what does that make the Philadelphia Eagles then? What does that make the Philadelphia Eagles? Jalen Hurts has now been in 2 Super Bowls and has outdueled Patrick Mahomes in both of those Super Bowls. And it's not even up for debate, man. It's not even up for debate. Jalen Hurts' Super Bowl stats are ridiculous at this point. First off, the bros just got records galore. First player in NFL history to have 10 passing touchdowns and 10 rushing touchdowns in a postseason. Has the most rushing yards in Super Bowl history. Breaking his own record from the last time he was in the Super Bowl. Had to be the leading rusher in both Super Bowls. I mean, just unbelievable. Most touchdowns in NFL history. I think either most rushing touchdowns or most total touchdowns. I think it was most rushing touchdowns for a quarterback in NFL history. In Super Bowl history. I mean, he was 17 for 22, 77% completion percentage, 221 yards. 11 carries for 72 yards, 6.5 yards per carry, 3 total touchdowns, 10 yards per attempt, and a 119 rating. And you know what? Don't tell me that it was all because of the Philadelphia Eagles against Patrick Mahomes. Because don't get me wrong, that defense was feasting. They were a bunch of monsters. That was a masterclass by that defense and a masterclass by Fangio. But you know what? Jalen Hurts was dealing with pressure. Jalen Hurts was dealing with blitzing. Jalen Hurts he was flushed out of the pocket multiple times. That pocket collapsed on him. And what did he do? He ripped off a couple 20-plus yard runs. That's what Jalen Hurts did. He had to scramble, run around, throws a dart to A.J. Brown, 3 hands in his face. Flush out of the pocket, throws a seam to Saquon Barkley for 22 yards. That's what Jalen Hurts did. Patrick Mahomes, what did he do? When he got flushed out of the pocket, he threw a pick six to Cooper DeJean. Yeah. Oh, when he was dealing a little bit of pressure, interception in the red zone, Bond. When he tried to escape the pocket and go off for a run, just like we saw Jalen Hurts do multiple times, not once, not twice, but like 3 times, for huge runs, for big first down pickups, Patrick Mahomes, sack, get his feet lined up, gets like 1 yard, 2 yards. I mean, there was times during the broadcast when they were like, oh, and Patrick Mahomes is, and he's done. You thought Patrick Mahomes was going to go for a big run? Nope, he didn't. But Jalen Hurts did. Jalen Hurts did. So let's put some respect on Jalen Hurts. This was just an absolute dominant win. Jake Elliott knocking down field goals like it was his rookie year, man. I mean, he had Eagles fans feeling a little uncomfortable. He was like, nah, no worries. And then when he kept making field goals, and then they're like, no, you got to do it again. It's like, no, man, he just made it. Doesn't matter. He still knocked it through. I mean, Kellen Moore, masterclass in play calling, had this team ready to go. I mean, what else is there to say, man? I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs, I mean, they just had nothing going on. Nothing going on. Patrick Mahomes, right, before that final touchdown, which was all garbage. I mean, really, they only scored 6 real points. 20 for 31, 207 yards, 6 sacks, 2 interceptions, 1 fumble, and a 78.3 rating. Come on, man. And that was including one of his garbage touchdowns. So it would have been even less yards, and it would have been a lower passer rating. I mean, it was just wild. I mean, it really was. I got my notes all over the place. Time of possession, 37 minutes to 23 minutes. I mean, it's just crazy. It really is. I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs, when the score was 24-0, the Chiefs had 13 yards. 13 yards. This was the most times Patrick Mahomes was ever sacked in his career. And the 34-0 deficit was the biggest in his career as well. When the score was 34-0, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs never even passed the 50-yard line. And no pass was longer than 11 yards. That dink and dunk was not working. And the second quarterback in NFL history to throw an interception in back-to-back passes. He's now got 7 interceptions in 5 Super Bowls. What'd I tell you all last night? There is only one God, one Savior, and he is not Patrick Mahomes. All year long, we had to listen how the Philadelphia Eagles are not good enough. All year long, we had to listen to that hate. And then even when they finally get to the Super Bowl, when they dominate the Commanders, tried to act like that game was closer than it was. When they hung 55 points, the most ever in a conference championship game. They just hung now 95 points. 95 points in the last 2 games, in the conference championship game and the Super Bowl. Going into the Super Bowl, everyone still doubted them. Everyone still doubted them. We had to just listen and go on and on about the Kansas City Chiefs and the 3P, how Jalen Hurts not good enough, how Jalen Hurts can't handle the pressure. That's what they kept saying. Jalen Hurts can't handle the pressure. Oh, they're going to stop Saquon Barkley. And then what are you going to do? You're going to expect Jalen Hurts to play great? Yeah, that's what I'm going to expect, because that's what he does in these big games. That's what he does. Oh, Fangio, Patrick Mahomes is 8-0 against Fangio. Yeah, when he was with bad teams in Denver. What do you want him to do? And then he was with the Miami Dolphins. Bunch of breakdancers. That's what I always talk about, the past not being an indicator of what will happen in the future. I mean, just stop with that nonsense. I was battling that for weeks leading up to this Super Bowl. It was exhausting. Just the playoffs alone were exhausting, because it was every week going into every game. Oh, I don't like the Eagles here. Jalen Hurts is not good. Oh, if it wasn't for Saquon Barkley. Well, they took away Saquon Barkley. And you know what? They still didn't, because he still had nearly like 90-plus yards from scrimmage. The run game wasn't there. Jalen Hurts made sure it was there, though. Yeah. He was composed. He wasn't shook for a second. That's now 2 Super Bowls that he wasn't shook. The bro's got ice in his veins, man. He is a big-time player. He plays big time in big-time moments. So we can hate on him all we want. I mean, by all means, do it. Go for it. He feeds off it. The Eagles live for it. Which is why I'm going to play my song now. I wrote a song. I hope you guys enjoy.
Yeah, yeah, Philly stand up. They said we couldn't do it. Nah, they doubted us all year. But we here now, champs again, Super Bowl locked. Hey yo, hit that beat. No one likes us, we don't care. Bleed green, we everywhere. Doubted us, don't you dare. Stop the Chiefs, and the streak ain't nothing fair. No one likes us, we don't care. Andy and Mahomes looking scared. Sacrifice goats, no time to spare. No one likes us, we don't care. Started from the mud, now we flying like Hurts. Said Jalen wasn't clutch, now they crying it hurts. Talked down on the team, said the coaches were weak. Now we hoisting that Lombardi while they watching in defeat. Patrick Mahomes, nah, he never broke through. Met him at the line, Philly D said, who? All year long, they said we was frauds. Now the trophy in the air while they praying to the gods. Nick Sirianni got the playbook savage. Fans you dialing up pressure, leave Mahomes in damage. AJ and Devontae breaking ankles in the flats, while our secondary feast snatching picks like snacks. No one likes us, we don't care. Bleed green, we everywhere. Doubted us, don't you dare. Stop the Chiefs, and the streak ain't nothing fair. No one likes us, we don't care. Andy and Mahomes looking scared. Sacrifice goats, no time to spare. No one likes us, we don't care. Kansas City came in thinking they were sweet. Mahomes in the pocket, but we brought the heat. Three-peat dreams, now we snatch that crown. Travis Kelce in the dirt while we run this town. Talk about doubters, nah, we don't listen. Kahupa holding strong, never breaking his position. Barkley in the backfield, swift like a ghost. We roast competition while we sacrifice goats. Lane Johnson on the line, that's a wall, no cracks. Every yard we take, there ain't no turning back. Grease them poles, Broad Street go wild. Whole city lit, got that Philly style. Who's doubting now? I yell to the sky. Hurts took the hits, now the MVP ready to fly. Philly to the death, yeah, that's our creed. We grind, we bleed, and we all succeed. No one likes us, we don't care. Bleed green, we everywhere. Doubted us, don't you dare. Stop the Chiefs, and the streak ain't nothing fair. No one likes us, we don't care. Andy and Mahomes looking scared. Sacrifice goats, no time to spare. No one likes us, we don't care. Philly on top, put respect on the name. Climb through the hate, now we own the game. You doubted us once, you won't do it again. Super Bowl champs, now let that reign begin. No one likes us, we don't care.
We don't care. Man! Like I said last night, Philadelphia Eagles fans, be loud, be obnoxious. Because all season long, you had to endure so much hatred, so much doubt. Now who's the Super Bowl champs? Who won the Super Bowl? Who'd they beat? Yeah? They beat the NFL darling, Patrick Mahomes darling, Travis Kelce darling, Taylor Swift darling, Andy Reid darling, Spags darling. Yeah. Sirianni was supposed to be fired. Yeah, he was supposed to be fired. Jalen Hurts was supposed to be Carson Wentz. Yeah. Saquon Barkley was supposed to be old and injured. Yeah. Cam Jurgens was supposed to not be nothing like Jason Kelce. AJ Brown was supposed to be a diva. Get him out of here. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Vic Fangio, past his time, man. Boy, he's just an old man. He got to retire. Kellen Moore, he's just some Dallas trash. Chargers didn't want him. Yeah. Well, they got a ring. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What you guys all think about the Philadelphia Eagles' dominant win? And as Colin Cowherd said it, humiliated Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.